Do you like movies? If so, I'm going to do a movie review for two movies today: Deadpool and Wolverine, and was the A Quiet Place Day One. The movie that's going to show you my thoughts of the movie. I can't even remember the title. But before we get into that, let me get into the intro. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me going through this nomad journey. And one of the things I've been doing from the last 9 years, I've started to actually open up and shed back some of the layers and let you know some of the tips and tricks that I've learned as I've been traveling. But this one is going to be more of a lighthearted video. We're doing a movie review. And one of the things I love to do with living abroad is going to movies because it's very affordable, man. And I'm gonna let you know how much it costs to actually go see these movies, even Deadpool and Wolverine on opening day. So let's get into the video. So first, we're gonna start out with A Quiet Place Day One. Now, this movie, I've seen the first two. First one was a really good movie. It was the shock factor involved. Like, you didn't know what was going on. Then you find out it's these monsters that have this superhuman type, super monster type hearing, and any noise you make, they can come and attack you. Second one kind of led off to where the first one was, gave you just a little bit more of a storyline. This one starts on day one. So yet we're watching the same movie from the same perspective, and it is the exact same thing going on. This movie, and I'm gonna be honest, I love Lupita. I have a big crush on her. I have been following her since she's been acting. I think she's one of the best actresses in the world right now. There's not many people that can do as good of acting as her. And this movie, even she couldn't save it. So the movie starts out, you're in a hospice. So she's a hospice patient she's terminally ill with cancer, and she pretty much have any day that could be her last day on the earth. So they ended up going to like a play in the city of New York. It's taking place in New York City on this one. They're in the city and they're in a play, and then after the play, that's when the meteorite falls down, or the asteroid with the monsters on there, or spaceship. We don't even know what it is to this day. And it picks up from there. So, oh man, this movie was horrible. Let me just say this. It was a horrible movie. I give this movie a 0. They shouldn't have made this movie. This movie, it helped me remember why I stopped liking horror movies. First problem, you still don't even really get a good picture of what the monsters look like, even though we know they're monsters if you've seen the first two movies. And unless you've been living on a rock or in a hollow earth or something, there's no way you've never seen this movie. Second thing is, they did the whole new scary movie thing of, let's just make everything so dark you can't see anything. For any of the Hollywood producers and directors that's watching this, I know y'all watch the channel. Dark does not mean scary. Dark means I can't see. I'm not afraid of something I can't see. It's just boring me. I literally almost fell asleep in the movie. It was so boring, I couldn't even finish my popcorn, and I love popcorn. This movie should have never been made. If you're going to make another one of these movies, I don't even want to spoil the movie, because all the highlights I tell you outside of this is just going to tell you the whole movie narration. It was a dumb movie. The script was dumb. It was very boring. It was unoriginal. It was not even thinking about how to make a future film. Like, they could at least showed you the perspective of where did these little alien monsters come from? Were they sent intentional? Is it like a galactic race? Like, it's so much stuff you could have done with this. And from the military perspective of it, the military, made the military look like they were dumb. Now, as someone who was in the military, I served under the intelligence branch. And anybody under intelligence branch, you may have worked around psyops. All the weapons to destroy these monsters exist in the military. At the very least, they could have solved this problem in a few minutes in New York City, because the monsters are not able to swim, as we all know. All they had to do was just keep blasting loudspeakers and some Chinooks going all through the city and driving them to the water, driving them to a bridge, and then blow up the bridge, and you would have killed all the monsters. And it was just like, They kept flying over, flying over. And then you're hearing the monsters somehow hitting the helicopters, hitting the jets. And it's like, why are you flying low enough for these monsters to hit you? This just doesn't make any sense. They're blasting loudspeakers. Get to the evacuation, get to the evacuation. Literally getting people to make a bunch of noise after you made noise and drawn the monsters to where they need to evacuate to go walk there and get attacked. It was just a horrible movie. Please stop making these movies. Please, Hollywood, become original again. It's not that hard to make an original movie. Or at least if you want to do scary horror or any type of drama movies, just let Jordan Peele does it. Because clearly he's the only person in Hollywood that knows how to direct a good movie now that has some type of suspense and scare to it. Because the rest of you are just horrible. Everybody's trying to be the new Michael Bay and just blow up stuff. Like, none of this made sense. The first thing they did was blow up all the bridges. Why? You could have used those as vital, crucial points to attack the monsters. It made no sense. At the very least, I can understand if you had them on a harbor or something, you were just stopping them from being able to leave. You didn't stop anything. You didn't do anything to help the movie. And then the way the movie ends, I'm not even going to tell you the rest. Like, if you've seen the movie, leave me a comment down below and let me know, what do you rate the movie? I give it a 0. I paid 60 kwacha for that movie. That's about $2.45. And I really wanted a refund. That's how bad that movie was. So let's go ahead and get into the second movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not a big Deadpool movie fan. I feel like Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool in every movie he does. So I get tired of it. It's like very boring. It's like, okay, how much more brash can you be? How much more can you curse? How inappropriate can you be? It's one trick, one pony note to me with Ryan Reynolds acting so far as since he started doing Deadpool. Before then, I think he was a lot better. So with this movie, I feel like this movie should have came out a few years ago. It came out, I don't know if there's any saving grace to Marvel anymore. And I'm a big Marvel fanboy. And I stopped watching the movies after Doctor Strange 2. It just got boring. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, I don't care about keep politics out of comic books. Like, I'm a big comic book nerd. If you're not going to write it to appreciate to the comic book, like, I don't care about all the political things that are going on in the world. And so for me, as someone who loves Marvel, who grew up reading those comics as a kid, I don't need to see everything. You got to put a woman lead in this, or this type of lead in this, or this type of relationship status in this. I don't care about those things. When I'm seeing a Marvel movie, I want to see what I used to read in the comics, and I want to relive that on the big screen. Like, I want to see that picture I was painting in my head, that movie in my head as I was reading those comics on the big screen. I don't care about the political agendas. And I know some people may not like that, but everything doesn't have to be political, man. Sometimes people just want to get away from the stress and the nonsense of the world. And then throwing these in the movies really mess up a lot of movies. And Marvel started doing it after the Avengers Endgame series. I feel like they really dropped the ball. Like, even Black Panther 2. I haven't watched it yet to this day. Will I watch it? Maybe one day. Maybe if I catch it on the internet and I'm bored enough. But until then, I don't have a reason to watch it. They should have recast T'Challa. I love Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, but he was not the Black Panther. Like, we have to stop making certain people like, oh, this is the only person that can play this character. It's a character. And then one of the things that I loved about comics was there was always different variants of the same character. And we need to move that into the movies. Now, fast forward back to Deadpool and Wolverine. This is what they was trying to do. They were showing you all the different characters, the variants of the characters. But they was using the Wolverine character because Deadpool had to find him. And also, like, I'm not going to give any spoilers in this. I'm going to just briefly talk about it. So the TVA, the time control, time variant, the TVA, they were looking for Deadpool, got him. And so he ended up escaping because he needed to save his timeline. But he needed Wolverine, since if you watch Logan, when Logan passed away at the end of that, he was the anchor to that timeline. And so it made it that timeline to start deteriorating. And so Deadpool went on a hunt looking for a new Wolverine to take to his timeline to help anchor it back. And it was really cool because they showed the comic accurate Wolverine, somebody like 4'9". It was really funny seeing Hugh Jackman as a little short Wolverine. They had the Calverine with Henry Cavill, which was really cool. They showed little glimpses of Wolverine in the brown outfit, which I really loved that one, fighting the Hulk. And they showed all these different variants of him. Cowboy Wolverine, and you saw the different variants of Deadpool also. Even Lady Deadpool, which Blake Lively did a wonderful job. Kudos to you for that. And I love that husband-wife dynamic there. That was a really cool factor. And so it showed how Marvel can fix themselves in the future. But sometimes you got to wonder, like, is it a little bit too late? The only thing that's a saving grace to Marvel is DC just can't get their act together. I don't know why DC can't make a movie. If you know why below, tell me. Because DC makes great TV series, but horrible movies. And Marvel makes horrible TV series, but great movies. So it's like the writers need to combine and work all of it out together. And so outside of that, they do what they need to do. Cassandra Nova is the main villain in this. If you don't know who that is, that's in one timeline where she's the twin of Charles Xavier. And so Deadpool and Wolverine come together and they take her down and fix the timeline. It was a great movie. It was rated R. Now, this shows to me from here on out, any movie with Wolverine or Deadpool in it has to be rated R. There's no questions about it. One of the things that I really loved about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in this variant, in this version of the movie, he went total berserker. And if you know what I'm talking about with Berserker Wolverine, when he really goes deep into those animalistic qualities of him, that was the Wolverine that has been missing from every X-Men movie up to this date. Logan showed pieces of it. This one right here showed a full Berserker Wolverine, which was amazing to see. If they ever do a Hulk versus Wolverine, this is the Wolverine they need to use. And this is the version that they should be using from here on out in every Wolverine movie. Now, they did use the comic accurate yellow from like the X-Men 97 series in the original X-Men TV show. Was it cool to see? Yes. But when he put that mask on, it was so cheesy. I was like, I see why Hawkeye, I can't remember his name, but the guy who played Hawkeye, he refused to have the Hawkeye mask. It wasn't cool. I didn't like the mask at all. As far as him having just the top and bottom on was cool, but when he put the mask on, it was a little too cheesy for me. And I was like, okay, that's not that great. But other than that, it was a really good movie. Great to watch. If you're a comic book fan, you're going to be able to love it because Deadpool always breaking the fourth wall. It showed the other variants of Deadpool can break the fourth wall also. Only version of Deadpool that I still want to see that I hope they eventually show is Galactus Deadpool. I think that'll be really cool. On the screen, they had the ugly Dogpool on there, which was hideous. But other than that, really good movie. I'll give this 4 out of 5 stars. I'll take 1 star away just because of Wolverine's mask. I think there could have been a better way to make it look, even though I know they were going for the very comic accurate and the anime accurate image. It just looked a little too cheesy for me. But this Hugh Jackman version of Wolverine was amazing. And seeing the Calverine with Henry Cavill playing Wolverine, they got to make a movie with that, man. He looked freaking amazing. He was jacked. Like, just the amount of strength he had when he hit Deadpool, it was really cool. And so I highly recommend to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't recommend to go see A Quiet Place. If you've seen A Quiet Place or Deadpool and Wolverine, let me know what you felt about the movies in the comments below. And also, just remember this, I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.